Alright, gonna try that again. For some reason I lost the connection on it. I've been having some difficulty with that, even though I did upgrade my service for my internet, going from snail speed to now somewhat decent. So it seems like even though Jack Farmboy is in a rural area, he actually gets pretty good internet service. We'll see how this service goes. Let's see if anybody else comes on. We did a Grim on earlier, did lose him. So we'll see if he comes back on, if he's still available. One that came through. So that's one that I thought it was interesting when I looked at it. Probably gonna regret it, but this is one that's gonna be kind of an interesting one. Hey, what happened to the video? I don't know. It went blank. So first off, we'll see how that goes. So let's see where the video is. Graham, are you back on, or is that somebody else? Watching on my tablet. Oh, let's turn down the volume. Let's see who else is on here. So I'll give it a little bit to see if anybody else comes on, and then we'll get into some of the knives here. Chat. Oh, we got 3 people on, 4 people on. Oh, there you go, Graham. Thanks for coming back on. So we got 4 people on. And I have my tablet pulled up so I can see comments. And this is very much to practice things. So as we go through these things, as we have live streams, it is a learning process. A lot of times you don't know how to turn the video stream off. EDC Arizona, hey, yep, this is going to be the flank. And I told Grim about it as well, so he might be maybe taking you up on it as well. So once I pop down open, we'll see if he's actually interested in it. Then I can have to move it up the review scale, because if he wants it, it'll go out to him, and I just need to review it before it does that. But let's see what we have. Let's put this tablet up so I can see it without it falling over. There we go. Cool. All right, so one of the ones that I want to talk about first off, so if anybody looked at Mr. Blower 1 for the knives that are available through his channel, Tony, awesome, thanks for being on. For the ones that he has, like a lot of great knives. I'm very honored to just have him send me knives, especially for that price point, because I mean, he said a 940 sent to me. He has a lot of different Benchmades that came through. A really cool CRKT little, now I forgot the name, it's a clip lock. So if you saw it on the Instagram, that's just, once you get the hang of how that mechanism works, it's very addicting. So I'd recommend that to have for anybody that wants to fidget with a knife. I think Graham also talked about that knife as far as possibly picking it up, and then just see what it looks like. I mean, the one that he's offering, he actually dropped some of his prices as well. So I've been carrying this one today. This is the first orange knife that I've handled. For this one, there's another Benchmade. This one is the 585 in D2. So this is one that I believe is exclusive for Cabela's. So this one's available from him. So if you actually go back to the Epic unboxing, then you'll be able to see the pricing for all these as well. So he's basically going off of 20% off of retail value for the knives. There's one that is the Griptoian that has a little bit more wear, so he took another 5% off of that. So he's gone off of places like Cabela's, Blade HQ, so you're going to get 20% off of the knives that he's putting up for offer. They do not have a box, so if you really want a box for it, then you're going to probably want to avoid those, but 20% off of retail. Any of the boxes that I have just sit upstairs on a shelf, so that's where I like a box too, but really, if you really love the knife, it'll be in your pocket more than a box. So that's one thing. So we'll see now for this one. So as EDC Arizona said, that this is the highest quality box that he could find. This is one that he said I'd be really impressed by the presentation. As you know, the Tangram is one that's one that really impresses me for a box, and he said this would blow me away, but no, he really didn't, but he did say it would come in a high quality box. So we'll see about that. So packaging the package, and that really was not sealed very well. I did have the tracking things on there, but that was not exactly the most secure. Say Christmas on some of these things. And so this one is an assisted knife as well for this Benchmade too. So that's kind of an interesting prospect actually as a Benchmade and assisted. So this is the HK flak. So in looking up basically a Google search on what flak is, that's basically an anti-aircraft type of gun or something like that. But now I can't really remember exactly what I looked at, but some type of anti-aircraft type of setup. But this is going to be now down here, so it's a HK flak. So decent weight to it, and it wasn't exclusive of that point and deep carry clip. $20 to your door, if anyone's interested in that. Let's see, CRKT. Oh yeah, the CRKT. I can show you that one too. I mean, you saw that on Instagram for that Grim. That one's, I mean, it's fun. I would probably pick that up for that. So, but that's that one for the HK flak. It is a spring assist. It does have kind of that Spidey hole set up for it. So if anybody's interested in that, then that can be $20 to your door. Go from me to you instead of me back to EDC, Arizona for this knife. So the other one that I picked up, this one is one of the Bokers. So Magnum by Boker. This one is, so if anybody watched a lot of the videos from, I believe it was Love Them Knives had it on, Baz on Blades had it. A few people have looked at the PMP Beast. That one is one that actually is fairly impressive, but I would probably never own it or want it. But this one is one that is the Bulldog. So this one is a beastly knife. Oh, I can't do the front flip, but you can actually front flip it. But I mean, check that out in comparison to. I mean, yep. Nope, not live anymore, Jack. Just like you, you're learning to time travel as well, so that's kind of how that operates. But no, definitely alive. So there's one that I put on the Instagram as far as this or the PMP Beast. This is very similar in style to it. Very much lighter though, and I think like this is like half the weight of the PMP Beast, but it's still a fairly humongous knife. Like I put this in my pocket to carry around, and I just can't do it. It is just too big. I mean, it sticks out of your pocket that much. But by styling wise, I guess any price, guess it on price. Some people already know how much this costs, but throw a price up on this. What do you guys think about for this knife? This is the Bulldog. Anybody? Prices, anybody? Oh, so this one is the Bulldog. Now, so this one is the Magnum by Boker Bulldog. 120. Ooh, nope. My most expensive that I didn't receive yet is actually 109.99. So that's the most expensive knife that I've ever purchased. It's the Mass Drop Perpetua by Millet, which is still being processed. So all those prices that came up on the screen, we had 120, 65, 90, and surprisingly enough, this is $15.95. $15, $16 almost. So it is 15 bucks, 1.5. So as much as you're going to pay for a meal out at a fancy restaurant or like a Outback Steakhouse or something like that, you can have this beast of a knife for 15 bucks. So granted, I mean, it's 440A, so it's not going to be the highest quality steel. Granted, you're probably not going to be, well, maybe you will be using this regularly, but this is one that I saw in comparison to the other one. I saw the other one and I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm never going to want that. It's like, but then it's like, well, okay, well, where do you get it from? How much does it cost? And then the PMP beast is 250 bucks. $250, I cannot bring myself to even press the put in your cart type of thing, or wish list or anything like that. That's just way too much that I'm going to spend for a knife. 90. Okay. So sorry, Tony. Yeah, so 90. Oh, so you're spot on then for yours. So I didn't have the conversion on that. But maybe you're going for 90 US and you're just trying to make yourself feel better on that. But either way, that's, I mean, anybody wants it. 15 bucks, 16 bucks. I thought it was cool. It's someone that I picked up for that, and it's probably gonna sit in the box for a little bit. Take it out every now and then. One thing about like the Magnum knives, Magnum by Boker itself, everything is. No, which way did this go back in? Nope. There you go. So everything is made specifically for the knife. So it comes in the tin, but it all has the styrofoam that's cut specifically for the knife. It doesn't have a standard box. It doesn't have just a regular one that the knife rattles around in it and they have to put some type of bubble wrap or something on it. It's actually made for the knife. So that's actually really fairly impressive for something, 15 bucks. And then even the alligator that I picked up, I've been using that. I did have to sharpen that though, but now that I sharpened it, it actually is fairly good. So I do like that one. But kind of impressed with their lineup. So this is a new, this is not a new one, but the alligator's new. The what I call the AOS, which is the Arctic Ocean Sailor. I think most knives should have two names at most. Arctic Ocean, they could have just left it there, but they have the Arctic Ocean Sailor, so I call it AOS. If that picks up, I coined it first, so AOS. If anybody wants an AOS, go and get an AOS. Yeah, that would be a pretty expensive knife but so let's look at this one. This one I picked up from Walmart. If anyone has, some people weren't. I think Grim. I don't think you were alive when, now I forgot the name of the game. Metal Gear Solid came out. For some reason, when I saw this knife, it reminded me of Metal Gear Solid. I don't know why, but it was just like, that's a pretty cool knife. It's inexpensive, and I'm probably gonna regret buying it, but it was pretty cool. At least I hope it was pretty. I hope it's pretty cool. So it is from a company called what is it? Old Timer. So that's kind of one that I've never owned one as far as Old Timer, but that's one that I picked up. They are a subsidiary company of BTI. There you go. Yep, Snake. So he doesn't. You do know what Metal Gear Solid is, but have you played the original one? That was really impressive graphics and everything else when it first came out. But for this one, they're a subsidiary company of BTI. BTI makes like a whole lot of different knives. They make even Smith & Wesson knives, which I'm really not fond of. I picked one of those up. That was my first button lock knife, was a Smith & Wesson. So I liked it enough, but then like it was like the knife was hitting the backspacer. Everything else was pretty bad about it. Yeah, Smith & Wesson. Whoever's in the marketing department for Smith & Wesson, please like pick up one of your knives and see how horrible it is, and then like take your name off of it. Because I mean, if for how much they put into like being like a forefront of firearms and everything else, to slap your name on a Smith & Wesson knife is very disappointing, and hopefully they get better. Because even on one of their interviews, they said that that their knives are tipped down carry because that's what a lot of people want, and it seems like most people in the community want actually a knife that's tip up. So a little disconnection possibly there. So, in the reveal, I wouldn't recommend it, Jack. Unless you want to have like the, I forgot the name of the other knife, but then the one that Nick always has for that biohazard one. Unless you want like a comparison knife of something that's horrible, then yeah, go and get a Smith & Wesson knife. Then that will be your shining light as far as that goes. Yeah, Smith & Wesson Z Hunter. Yes, Z Hunter. So if you want your own Z Hunter, I would recommend you go and buy a Smith & Wesson knife. But this is this one here. So this is the Camo Badger by Old Timer. And for some reason, when I saw it, the first thing that came into my mind was Metal Gear Solid. I don't know why. It's like kind of a pattern to it, but it just did. I was like, that's a pretty cool little knife. So whether it be good or not, I mean, it's not too heavy, so that's not too bad. Got 7 people on. Awesome. So actually quite impressive. So that's pretty grippy. Whatever the coating they have on that to get that graphics, because it has like the tree type of print on it. You have the orange and this gray and white and gray and darker gray. Kershaw Skyline, Kershaw Fraction. Let's go back on that. Fraction. So you have the Kershaw Skyline, the Kershaw Fraction, and Off Grid. I don't know, Off Grid. I've never heard of Off Grid. You might have to post a picture or send me a picture on that. So, as EDC Aaron said, so this one's $20 into your door. He does have a Fraction and a Skyline as well that he would like to sell off. So if you are interested in those, I guess what's the price on those? I have a Fraction already and I already have a Skyline. And so that's the email address or but this is a pretty sweet knife. So as much as I was concerned about the quality of it, I would actually not be opposed to carrying this. D10 is pretty stiff though. So that's going to take some breaking in. So Skyline, so Fraction 25, Skyline 30. Fraction is a really good knife. Skyline's a good knife too. If you can get over as far as how high that sticks out of your pocket, or carry it tip down, which I am probably going to convert that over to a tip down carry, because it is just really, really tall out of your pocket. Orange knife. You like orange knives, but you don't own an orange knife? There you go, orange knife. Or less expensive, orange knife. I'm actually loving this knife though. I mean, this was, I think, $10. The one that he has is ones that he owns. So now something that kind of came up with some of the ones that are available. Oh, next purchase orange, go for it. Now, which one are you going to pick up this orange knife? But now, for some of the ones that are available through kind of the Bladester program, one of the options is really just get involved in the channel, like give me some information, help out with things, comment, be part of the channel, and then I'll send you a patch. I mean, and that's EDC Arizona's patch. I think it was, hopefully it's correct. Hook and loop, yeah? So hook and loop. So for anybody that has hook and loop patches, next time I order these, do you just want the hook side or do you need the loop side? Or actually, the other way around, I think. No. Which side's the hook and which side's the loop? I guess that's the hook. So do you just want the hook side or do you need the loop? Because it's cheaper to just order it with hooks only, and I don't need to order it with this backer. But I don't know if, because it seems like people like the hook and loop more than the iron-on. So I got 50 and 50 of the hook and loop, 50 of well, 50 of hook and loop and 50 of the iron-on. So I think one person, which is, I think Jack, you had the iron-on, so I think you're the only one that wanted the iron-on. So not only are you the first one to get it, you're the only one that actually has the iron-on one. Because I had 3 go out just recently. So that's the ones I have here. What else we got? Sweet patch. Nice. Awesome. You just iron it to your wall? Like, you just like take the iron and like stick it to your wall? I wouldn't have done that, but cool if it works. I didn't know if that was going to work. Well, it does have the little adhesive backer, so that's something that is useful. It seems like we have somebody else on. Anybody else on? Join on the comments too. But that's the ones I have here. Anybody want to see any of the other ones? I saw an intro. Let's see. Awesome. Thanks for coming back, Brad. So yeah, now I had some issues with my internet for some reason. I went and rebooted my whole phone. Kind of went there. Fishing Master, awesome. I was chatting with him as well. So good to have him part of the channel and also onto the live stream as well. So now, just a recap for anybody that just came on. 20 bucks for this one. This one is EDC Arizona. Sent it over for review. And then getting a patch that will be sent out to him. And hopefully now we'll continue to be part of the channel and add to some of those comments as well. But it is a spring assist knife. There's going to be a combo edge, a decent weight to it for this, but also I believe it is discontinued now. This was actually a budget Benchmade, if I'm not mistaken on that. So that's something that was for Dick's Sporting Goods. That was that exclusive. And then we do have the other one. How big is for my collection? Mine is probably, I have 2 of the knife rolls. And then if nobody's had a knife roll, like I would recommend getting a knife roll from Blade HQ. And it really, every time you open it, it has that adage right on the top, so just one more. So it just proves how bad of an addiction this could be. I have 2 of those, so that's 30 knives, plus I have some boxes and things here and there, so I probably have like 40 something, 50 knives. I'm just kind of hanging around. So I have just everything in that one, or 2 roll-ups, and then just some random knives, and then also this knife. So that's not my knife, but if you would like to buy that knife, so that is one that is up. So if you look at I guess, how do you guys like the epic unboxings? Because that's the 3rd one that I've done. And then it seems somewhat fun to me. It's somewhat a little bit more work, but it's fun when I see the result of it. And then it seems like you guys are liking those as far as the epic unboxing, as far as just really unboxing, no words, no sound. I just put it to music and then have a theme for it. So that seems like it's something that I'm going to stick to. Because it is fun to put together, and I kind of try to be creative. Sometimes it goes, I think something works, and I try to do it, and I think it might be kind of funny, and then it just like, Yeah, it's like, I don't know what you did right there. It's like, oh, yeah, this is the one that I just picked up. This is the one that's the old timer. Good. Glad the epic unboxing is entertaining. So that's one thing that I was trying to do on that. Kind of make it something somewhat different because it seemed like when I was doing the regular unboxing, it was kind of like a unboxing and a mini review instead of just an unboxing. And then so when I had the R2D2. Now, so actually, Jack, I won the knife through Jack. What I still need to do a review on, so I've been writing something up on that. I was gonna probably do that tonight, but I will see if I'm gonna record that today or tomorrow. I really just need to get it done for that R2D2 one. But that's one thing that it's a great knife. I mean, that's all the accolades that it gets, all the things that people talk about with the R2D2, and also even the regular D2. I mean, the regular Rat 2. Rat 1, I think the Rat series, even though it's still the Randall's adventure training, so even though the other one, which is the SE version, the SE version, it just lacks a lot of the finish. So with that metal back, it just doesn't feel right. So that's one thing I think the Rat series does a lot better as far as just the Rat 1 and also the Rat 2. It just, if you have to choose between a Rat or the SE version, I would take the Rat version. What's the quality of a Magnum knives? It's actually not bad. I mean, the one that I had, um, they are still. Oh, sorry, I bumped you guys. They are a budget knife. So the one that I got for it is a new knife, or the knives that they came out with, which was the alligator. That alligator I carry a lot. It actually is really enjoyable. So I do carry that one. And then I did have to resharpen it though. So when I first got it in, it tested decently on the sharpness test, but when I was trying to cut paper, it was just like it was getting caught up, and then it just kind of felt like a butter knife. So I did sharpen that a little bit. I still need to pick up some whetstones, so I'm gonna actually buy some king stones. So that was recommended by Jeff Jewell. He recommended some of the whatchamacalls, uh, the Kingstones. So there's a KDS Kingstone that I was going to probably pick up. But as far as the Magnum, it's a decent carry. If you're used to really high-end knives, you're probably going to think it's really not the best. But it's a good user. It's a good knife to start out with. And then the prices, really, you can't beat a lot of them for that. But I think if your bar, I guess, is set at the Rake P801, that one does a really good job, and it's going to have a lot of hard. It's going to be hard to meet that as far as any other quality standards. Oh, yeah, yeah. So this was what I was just talking about for the P801. So yeah, definitely, yeah, it is a good knife. For torture testing, I don't think I'm going to be doing too much of that. I was trying to figure out a way to really do it that was kind of repeatable. So that's one thing about a lot of the torture tests. They're just like you're just cutting on a piece of rope for like I don't know how many times, and then you kind of like to a point where you just don't. It doesn't feel sharp. That's kind of. I just don't want to cut a piece of rope that much. So that's one thing that's really good about Cedric and everything else that really does that. But the only thing that I was thinking about for a torture test was actually taking a knife and actually mount it to like a paper cutter type of mechanism, and then so that way I can just move the piece of rope or whatever media and then cut it and move it and cut it and move and cut it. And then also it would be on on a longer handle. So it wouldn't put it much like torture on me. It'll put more torture on the knife and the blade. And then I can do the sharpness test after that. Kaiser Dukes. I've heard amazing things about the Kaiser Dukes. I don't have one, but most people that have one do blade banter, not do the knife beater, even I think Frankie and Bird, and they're saying like their Kaiser Dukes, I mean, they love theirs. The only thing that I think some people had issue with was the clip. So some people didn't really like the clip on there. But those are some of the things that really is a lot of preference. But supposedly the flipping action is really well, has kind of a swooping noise when it opens. So that was kind of an interesting thing with it. But some of these live streams are really cool where we actually have this conversation. Granted, you guys aren't talking, I'm talking, but you guys are typing. So it still works as some type of communication with things as well. It's hard to see the tablet. What else we got? For Jack, you don't really do torture tests anymore? Is that what you're saying that sucks? And yeah, the blue, the one that was the Magnum, I saw that one, it was on clearance, Brad. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I never actually bought one, and I'm glad I didn't, I guess, since you said yours is so bad that you went and sent yours back. Heard of microstrop? No, I've heard of regular stropping, but I guess what's a microstrop? It's 12:40 there. Now I'm on the West Coast, so right now it's 10:40. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for it, what else do I have going on? Really, I don't know. There's not really too much else we have going on here. I got to get through the reviews that were sent in by Mr. Blower One. That's going to be really something I want to get through, and hopefully some people pick up some of his knives because he was really very gracious in sending those, and I'd like to also help him out and try and move some of his knives along that he's not interested in anymore. Uh, any new knives that I'm hiding? I do have some that I haven't shown, but nothing that's really fantastic yet. So that's where some of the reviews come out with those. But most of them I have for unboxed. But I could bring down my knife rolls too. But that's where nothing really great. I mean, I just really waiting on the Perpetua. So I have my Perpetua that I ordered. I have the Kershaw Natrix, the copper. Whenever that comes out, which I don't know, it seems like it's like maybe August time period for the copper. So that's going to be kind of a cool knife. But let's see. Possibly. Now, which artisan knife was that? I'm always open to check out knives, like even if they're horrible. So I'm assuming that's one thing that, like, there's knives for everybody. I mean, whether some people, their best knife is going to be other people figure it's going to be the worst knife. I'll have to look that up to see. Let's see what that is actually. Artisan. So I'll look that one up as far as what that artisan looks like, because for some reason I'm not placing it as far as that one. So I also do have some very cool type of things. I do have some knives coming in. I was able to get into the pass around group with Stasa 23. We do have I do have a fixed blade coming from Wii. I don't buy a lot of fixed blades. I think I have my minimalist, and then I have my more knives. But that one's coming in. It's a carbon fiber handle. It's a neck knife. So whenever that comes in, I'll show that one off. And then I think I have some other ones coming in also. So if you can get a pass around group, I mean, that's awesome because some of those knives, I mean, I'm excited about this $10 knife. So to throw down 150 plus dollars for a knife is, I'm not to that level yet. So maybe I'll get there eventually as far as that level up, as far as that information goes. But right now it's basically $100 is kind of stretching it for me. Yeah, I really appreciate getting into that one. So this is gonna be the first pass around group for that, and then I'll see how it goes. Because then I helped them put together kind of the listing for everybody, so kind of a master list of all the people in the pass around group. So that's kind of helps people because you're basically you get the knife, you basically have a week with it, and then you send it off to the next person that's on the list, and then they review it and it goes on to the next person, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be how that works. So I should be getting that fixed blade, I would assume next week for that one, and then probably another 3 weeks from then I'll get another one for that pass around group. Pass around groups. So within some of the reviewers, there's basically knives that get passed around. So Jack, they have theirs. I forgot the name of it. I apologize, but they they try and break the thing or like torture test things and really put their knives to the test as far as that pass around group. This one that I got into, it's some of the knives that like different companies like Best Tech might come out. They might have some different knives that come through. So it kind of so Gear Go Around, yeah. So that's the one that you're involved in. But the other one, yeah, is just those knives come out and say who's interested in it. They send a knife to the first person on the list, and it kind of goes around from there. That's where so the one that I'm getting from Stasa, I'm not going to be like batoning them and doing crazy stuff. It's just really checking it out. I'm going to do the regular testing, weigh it out, see on a sharpness test to see what it comes in at. It's really great and also not so great that it's coming to be more popular as far as that sharpness test. I just couldn't bring myself to spending 200 or 150 to $250 for the sharpness tester from Edge on up. It's gaining loads of traction, which is wonderful for Mike, the owner and operator of that company. But I saw on Perfection, he got one in. Then we got Birdshot got one in. Color Lover got one in. So maybe eventually I'll need to add that to some of the tests. But right now I got my fidget spinner one. So that's kind of my little tester. Whoa, just did it. So that's my tester. Ooh. Yeah, it still is, and I still like it. I mean, as far as the information goes, and it just this will never be really popular. It's going to be something that is something that is just like a copy of or something that's going to be. I was like, oh, cool little device, but I don't think it's going to gain anything as far as any type of regularity or anybody else will pick it up because, well, it's a fidget spinner. I just thought it was a pretty interesting way to do it because I was looking for something with a bearing, and then I went and kind of sketched it out to see how I'd actually make it. And then, yeah, I just walked up and down the aisles of Lowe's, just looking through things, and I found that that's like a table leg. This is I think a brace for building things, and then we do have the little clamp from Lansky with the rubber insert. So if anybody gets freaked out with me clamping a knife, there's rubber in there. I'm not just clamping metal to metal for that. And then also for this, I did incorporate the best media tester in with it. So that's one thing there. So it's easy to change that out. So it's just like a quick change out for that. And then I do have a knife that's a public service advisory. So if you ever have the itch to buy this knife, don't do it. Yeah, no, don't do it. This is not good. Yeah, I appreciate Brad. So that's something that I was just toying around with, and then once I built that, then I just searching through Google as far as like other edge sharpness testers. I found the Edge on Up, uh, talk with Mike and everything else, and then continue to work on this, and then yeah, then it started to pick up, and people are starting to have it. But this knife is really bad. So when I first got it in, it rattled like a baby rattle. So when it did this, the knife actually rattled. Um, Now I forgot the name of it because maybe I tried to forget what it was. But and then I tried to fix it a little bit. And I took a little bit too much off the actual lock bar, the liner lock. So now it locks up like 100%. So so uh, I think this is a copy of something too. Uh, Later ADC in Arizona. Thanks a lot. Hopefully you get a hit on your knife, and I'll do a review on that as well. That's pretty bad. Yeah, it does happen that way. Hey, morning. And as Jack said, the king has arrived. So welcome, Patty, and good morning to you. So what I was talking about is like this one is kind of the PSA. That almost should be a series. So like if you have a PSA knife, public service advisory knife, then like you can post it. But this is mine, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's really bad. When I first got it in, I was tempted to throw it in the trash can, but I attempted to fix it. It locks up now, but it locks up a little too late. It's a spoiler. Yeah, but yeah, that's one of those. So I think Grim, you asked the question if I had any knives that were just hanging around that I didn't show. This, this was hanging around. I did not show it because I was almost embarrassed by it. Really bad. Don't buy it, or buy it if you want. Like this is worse than a Smith and Wesson knife. Not good. Effing Grown, again, they sell a lot of different knives. I mean, you're gonna get even some of their knives are still branded with the original knife company's name. So Effing Grow is a really good option to go for. You can get a knife, still prime shipping and everything else. But yeah, a lot of the knives are just they just bring them in. So there's a lot of different knives that they have. Really? The San Remo, they're normally really sweet as far as most of their knives that come in. So I'm really surprised by that. Well, and Patty, I still need to send your patch out as well, so I'll send that out to you. Don't know how long it's going to take to get from the West Coast to Ireland, though. Yeah, we'll see. I have not seen that channel as far as Slingshot. Hey, what's up, Nick? Welcome. Thanks for joining. I was just even talking about the pass around group too, so that's awesome. So thanks for coming on. Then what was he talking about? This exposed blade? Oh, you're talking about one of the Sanrenmu knives, the one that Jack had. So that was one of the things that yeah you're talking about is if you could run your finger on it, and you can actually feel the blade, which is not really the best thing for that. But does anybody have any questions for me as far as anything else? Because I know you asked about the other knives that I had. Reviews are still coming. Next one. Nice. And Jack, you really so with your videos that you do when you had like all the music and everything else, that really did push me to incorporate music. So really, you're a good part of that and a big part of that as far as the channel. So whenever anybody does something that's really cool, it's like man, that's really cool. Like now, how am I gonna do that? Or like and really, a knife community, like a lot of people help each other out. I mean, I asked even Blue Collar Survival, I was like, how do you get the text on your picture? Like my thumbnails, I don't like the way that my text looks. And then Snapseed. So anybody else that wants to use Snapseed as far as the app, it's on Android, but I don't know if it's on iPhone. But you take a picture, put all your text on it, it comes out fantastic. That's what I've been using recently. Yeah, Snapseed. So that's an app on the Android store. So I think it's called Snapseed. I gotta look it up again. But it's on my phone, so let me just make sure that's the right name. But yeah, it's one of the apps so you can actually take whatever picture that you can use for your thumbnail, and then go and use that app, and it actually has some transparency in some of the letters and some of the text. So it looks, I think it looks a lot more professional, and you can adjust it, save it. It's free. I mean, it's free. All you're spending is time. So if you don't have much money for apps and everything else, get that one. It's free. Oh, there you go. So it's on iPhone as well. So I think he had one as well. So yeah, it's very similar as far as I mean, you can put either text on it or they have little symbols. Yes, free. So that's some of the best things. Sometimes some things like you'd rather not have it for free, but I'd recommend Snapseed for free. Yeah, it's really great. I mean, for that to happen. Could I send you? You want a dollar bill for a review? Yeah, I can send you a dollar bill. Our money's not really that fantastic though. I mean, like most other countries have like cool plastic stuff in it and randomness. But Patty, you want a dollar bill? I'm just verifying before I send you a dollar bill, and you're like, "Why did you send me a dollar bill?" You still haven't sent out your patch yet, so I can send you a patch and a dollar bill. Ah, so like for shortcut reviews, I think he uses dollar bill for comparison most times. But yeah, I mean that would be a good way to test it if you want to do a dollar bill. The patches. So the patches started. Troy Wheatley went and actually requested a patch. So granted, I'm still a small channel, but he was like, "Hey," like, he's like, "What about a patch?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I went and worked through getting this all done up. I already had the BB logo, and then basically the official Bladester. So Bladester came about actually through Mr. Gearbear on one of his posts called me Bladester. And then I was like, hey, that's a pretty cool name. Could I use it? And then I started using it. So basically, like if you look up just the definition for stir, then it's basically somebody involved in a certain activity or anything else like that. So blade stir still makes sense. I think I'm the first one. Well, he's the first one to coin it, and I'm the first one to own it. But as far as Bladester, so that's what a Bladester is, and then Blade Banter as far as the name. Yeah, American currency, and it's counterfeit. Like there's some really bad counterfeits that go around too for American money. And I think that answered your question as far as fishing master. The patch, no, it's something that give away now. So really just be part of the channel, be involved with that. Of course, subscribe. I mean, I have Instagram and YouTube, so be subscribed to those, and then be a part of it as far as comments and everything else. And then there's some options as well. So now, EDC Arizona, he sent a knife. So it's just something to add to that review, to add some content. So if you're going to be part of the channels, you could send a knife for review. You could send a knife for a giveaway. So if you want to send a knife that you would want me to give away, like I'll give it away to somebody else. But and then you don't need to send a knife if you're just really part of the channel. Add some content, add some information. Um, be productive about it. That's kind of what that's about. And so some of the folks that I'm giving patches to haven't necessarily given me anything as far as that goes, except for time and expertise and knowledge. So some of those things you can't buy. So I really do appreciate that. Uh, and then yeah, so even though it's still a small channel and everything, it's still something that I'm sending out as far as kind of that appreciative thing as far as the patch. And I don't wear patches, so I bought patches and I gotta put it on something. So I'll probably put it on a hat or a polo shirt or something. And I'll probably use the iron-on one. Yeah, but I'll send you a dollar bill with the patch, Patty. I'll try and find a good one, a crisp dollar bill. Unless because you probably don't want like a rowdy one that's been gone through the wash and everything. It wouldn't really show well on video. Yeah, I think the patches work well. No, it seems like the community likes patches for a lot of things. So that's something that's really cool to see. Yeah, that's one thing about like American currency. Like we really should not be making pennies anymore. Like it costs more to make a penny than a penny's worth. Like why do we have a penny? Like that's some type of racket type of thing where somebody's in the market is like, yeah, we'll make your pennies for you, and we'll charge you more than a penny for it. Like I don't understand pennies. coins are pretty cool. So, I mean, I don't have a large collection. I went and picked up like a proof mint set for my boys. So that's something that I did pick up. So for the date of the year of their birth, I picked up a proof set, which I thought was pretty cool. My wife thought it was pretty ridiculous, but hey, I picked it up. And I think maybe once they graduate from high school, even though that's still a ways away, it I think I'll just give that to them as far as like their date of birth proof set for coins. Yeah, the stickers are something. The stickers are probably cheaper, Grim. So if you want to make stickers, and then feel free to make those. For Birdshot, they seem to be getting a pretty good amount of orders for theirs. So that's kind of a good thing to um, actually have. Well, yeah, but if you everything's 99 cents because that's the structure of it. So if you eliminate the penny, then it would either be $1 or it would be like 95 cents or whatever the nearest coin would be. So I guess there would be some inflation, but it would also be some that would go down. So yeah, I wouldn't keep a penny around just to like have a 99 cents. So if there's no penny, then you're not going to have anything that's 99 cents. No, Brad, you should definitely make a video. I mean, that's one thing. Like a lot of the things that happen and everything, I mean, the whole reason at least I started, and it seems like a lot of people start their knife channel is because we have nobody to talk to about knives. Like you pull out a knife and you go, hey, look at that. Like I don't even own this one. Like that's expensive for me. But check out this knife. What do you think about it? And then you're gonna have people like, why do you have a knife? Like what do you need that for? Or they're like, really? Well, should you carry a knife? Or they could go to like some odd conversation about it. So at least on here we can actually like talk about stuff. Yep. Brad, do you have a channel already? Send you some Grimsmo. I could send you like Jack can send you probably some pictures of some Grimsmos. Like those are pricey knives. I mean, granted they seem fantastic, but Grim, I can send you a picture of a Norseman too. One of the knives that I've been also learned about through Troy. Troy has been throwing a lot of information out there, but the Effenberg knives, I've been following them on YouTube, and then that's a pretty interesting setup for how far he's gone in engineering and as far as weight reductions. That knife is, I think you were saying the starting price is probably something about $550, which I guess if you save up, that's not bad. In running a channel or doing a channel, that's pretty bad because if I bought a $550 knife, then there'll be no content for the rest of the year. Grill knife. I have a new grill knife. I did not have a grill knife ever. So I was always just like going through the brands and everything else. I talked about it on your video actually, Jack. But my current grill knife that doesn't exist is going to be the Wii uh, version, and now I forgot the name again. So Pleroma. So I did say it incorrectly when I was on Jack's channel, but the Wii Pleroma. Beautiful knife. Uh, I don't know how it will be, but it's supposed to be a manual knife. It's under 3 inches in blade. So if you have not seen that knife, I would recommend taking a look at it. But not going to be everybody's style for it, but it's also not crazy angles and cutouts and everything else. It's just, I think it's just a really nice knife. And then continue the conversation. I have to let my dog out. So I'm going to let my dog out to the bathroom before she pees in the house. And I will be right back. So continue the conversation. I don't have anything for you guys to watch right now, but I'll be right back. Ooh, let's see. What did I miss? So Brad, I will look your channel up and subscribe to you. So I get knives that are interesting and to use, but I am a light user. I'm not a heavy user for knives. Yeah, it's really surprising how much of a niche the knife community is. So Mini Typhoon is one of the knives. Sorry, I get caught up to that. You guys are scary. I need to go away now. No butterfly knives. I will cut myself, and I do not care to go to the hospital and explain why I flayed myself. All the songs of the devil's work. Do you have a few, Grim, or have you ever got into butterfly knives? Well, that's not a good thing. Let's see, I'm trying to find. Brad, do you not have any photo for your YouTube channel? Because I saw Brad Griffin, 136 subscribers, 5 videos. Or there's one that has 14 subscribers and 2 videos, but that one has the logo. Take care, Grim. Oh, are you not leaving? Are you leaving or not leaving? Ah, I thought you were leaving. Thought you were saying out. But Brad, are you still on? How many videos do you have up? Nemora has a really nice knives as far as the what you get for the price. I have two of them. I have the Companion, the 125th anniversary one, and then I have the Pro C. That's the two more knives that I have. There's only 5 likes, 7 people and 5 likes, but they're watching, so and they might not like it. Oh yeah, yeah. I gotta have some type of tipping point for that. And I could show you my dog. I mean that's probably gonna get a like. Current trends. As far as like the knife actions, like because I know the slip joints are like a really hot one. I don't own any slip joints. So is that what you're referring to now, Stasa? I like that some of the knives are getting smaller. So some of the really large blades, the tactical type of knives, for me, it just, I mean, they're sit on a shelf. Like even, where did I put it? Yeah, Browse has their knives made by We. Like that knife. I'm not going to carry that around, but it's cool. I don't prefer spring assist personally. I mean, I fidget with knives now, so the spring assist really takes away from that. Uh, and granted, it was my own fault, but I mean, for the Kershaw dividend, I was flipping it, and then the spring broke. The thumb holes, I think that's probably my least favorite out of the actions. I think the thumb studs, the flipper tab, and then even the button lock. They, if anybody hasn't experienced the CRKT tie tack 2, that's still my kind of like gold standard for like every single action that you could ever want to open a knife. Granted, steel's not that bad, that great also. Benchmade button. This is a Benchmade. Like, where'd it go? You know, Benchmade budget. That's this. HK. Benchmade budget. Cool. Thanks, Brad. Yeah, once I figure out which one it is, then I'll subscribe to you. Yeah, and yeah, put up some videos. If you have questions, ask questions. A lot of us are new, but we're still coming across things, and we still help people out. So definitely, if you enjoy it, so don't just make videos to make videos. If you enjoy it and it's something that you really want to do, then yeah, put up some videos and then find your audience because someone, I mean, you probably like have a video on like pocket lint and like, there's somebody that's gonna go, hey, I really like pocket lint too, and then you could just talk about pocket lint all day. But really, I mean, that's everybody. There's a channel for everybody. So that's one thing that's kind of nice about it. See? Hashtag pocket lint. I mean, I think that's gonna like blow up. I think you should have a pocket lint channel. I think if you have a pocket lint channel and that blows up and you like get like a 500,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be really upset by that. I'll be really happy for you, but I mean, that would be really bad. I don't know if Color Lover really does a lot of shout outs. But I mean, he's been around forever and like dedication. Like I think he does a video every day. I'm gonna get my dog because she's outside. Yeah, that's my dog. It's actually my wife's dog. Wow, man, you guys just stop scaring me. I'm telling you, pocket lint's gonna be the biggest thing. That's an untapped resource right there. Yeah, it'd be pretty bad if pocket lint blew up on social media. Tony, how come you don't watch the big channels anymore? She is a Scottish Terrier. Oh, man. Yeah. He talks about urinating himself a lot too. Like, isn't there some incontinence somewhere? 7:22 a.m. What's the breakfast food? Like, what's the popular breakfast food? Like, it seems like in America it's like pancakes and bacon and eggs. Ulster fry. What is in that? If I saw it on a menu, I probably wouldn't order it, at least by the name. Like, if it was something that's like, oh, you must have this, then I would probably order it. But too long-winded. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wonder if they just get to a certain level as far as their community. Like it seems, I mean, they still have subscribers. So I mean, I don't know if they must be doing something or they meet some type of niche for people. I always find it hard to like portray some type of personality in a lot of videos. So I mean, that's where just trying to get some type of connection, and that's where some of the live streams are good because you can actually have something that's unscripted and just really talk about it. Yes, you are the baby of the channel then, and you shouldn't have any knives unless you got it approved from your parents. A Coke and a smoke? Nope, I do not want that for breakfast. That's good, as long as you got permission. That's one thing about anything. I mean, you just gotta kind of teach people about it. So you shouldn't just give somebody a knife if they've never handled one before, especially something that's assisted that's gonna scare them. I know, it's crazy. You gotta grow into those dad moments. We deal with a lot of different people, and then like a lot of times you just gotta like it's like parenting adults sometimes. Sausage, bacon, eggs, mushroom, beans, potatoes, bread, soda, bread, pancakes. Yep, that sounds like good stuff. Black pudding, not good. I don't. That's not. I don't think that sounds very good because that's like a. Isn't that like a blood pudding or something? Hopefully you're kidding, fishing master. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how you react to things and everything. Good. Yeah, maybe I'll try it, but ugh. Has anybody tried like a once in a lifetime experience that I'll never do it again, but I have it on video, so it's really awesome that way. But there's something called balut, which is a Filipino food. Has anybody heard about that? Anybody? Yeah, Vegemite is also is kind of a weird dish, I think. But anybody heard about that food before? Am I the only one? Enlighten you. So, balut is a Filipino food, which is a an egg with a partially developed fetus in it. So you have a bird in the egg. Nutella, yeah, much more appetizing than balut. So, but you have your egg. Yeah, yeah, yes. Is that what it's called there? But yeah, so Filipinos call it balut. And then so you tap the top of the egg and you take it off, and then it's kind of like jello-y, like slimy. Put some salt on it, and they down it. I have it on video, and I tried it because my brother-in-law got it for me and said, "Hey, try this." And oh, yeah, that's disgusting. Like, yeah, it was it's funny to watch, and I think if I put it on YouTube, like that would be my one video that would get like that would be my no, one that would get like a lot of views for it, and that would be my viral video. But I'm not gonna do that. But it would be funny. You could dip toast in it. Yeah, you could. You could. There's a certain point of it where I think it becomes very unappealing because you're gonna have actually see the little bird in there. I tried not to see it as much, and then for some reason, uh, my kids and their cousins was playing with like a little laser gun at the time. So as I was prepping to try and not lose the rest of the food that I ate, they were playing with a little laser gun that sounded like little chicks chirping, which was really really unnerving for that time period. It was yeah. Yeah, that just sounds bad. Fermented fish. And then I've never tried the durian fruit either. That's supposedly like smells like farts, and it's like a slimy. I don't know why, but I guess some people like it. Yeah, that's kind of where it goes. Like, you start with knives, and then you kind of go along the path, and like people try and scare me when I get back from taking my dog out to the bathroom, and then you kind of go to a different place, and like YouTube channel, Brad, you still need to make a video, and then now we're talking about food and gross food and breakfast. And is this free advertising? Meh. YouTube Red? Oh, so that's what you're talking about. YouTube Red? No, no, I've not paid that money. I haven't used Olight products. I did hear, um, actually, the guy that was on earlier for EDC Arizona recommended the Olight S1R baton. He said that's like a really good as far as like budget as well as like daylight in your pocket type of deal for the Olight. It's about $70 US. What else we got? I have this live stream playing in the background while I do other stuff. Yeah, I mean that's kind of one of the things. I think some of the longest videos is like Love Them Knives has some of the longest videos. I do that with his videos a lot of times. I just play it and I'll go do something else. Sometimes I'll watch the whole thing though. Man, you're getting lot of lot of sponsors, which is awesome. And then at this point, I think they're probably reaching out to you because when you first started with GearBest, was it something that you had to ask them about, and then all these others are probably like coming to you as far as lands. I think you have Lansky, you had a leather company, and now you have Olight. Olight, I mean, that seems like a pretty good deal there. Because how does a lot of the sponsorships work? Do they just send you things? Do they pay you per video? I mean, that's the like new ground. Like I'm nowhere near that right now. Even though Jack, I mean, you got yours through GearBest, but I mean, I haven't gone down that route. And I don't know if you can even go into that, Patty, as far as how that operates, but I was just curious about, as far as how those sponsorships work, because I'm assuming that like normally I think you have to get to like 1,000, and then you're kind of like a legitimate channel, and then people take you more seriously. Now, once you're at like 1,000 subscribers, that's kind of like that threshold, it seems. Yeah, I think you got like a $60 budget for GearBest. Because GearBest seems to be really, pushing it, but like there's Fast Tech out there, there's DH Gate, LA Express, but it seems like GearBest is really the one that's getting out there and actually trying to drum up some business. Hey, I mean, no, they just love your channel so much. So, I mean, that's where just bring it up a bit, because that's the reason why you got the knives, is because you do so well. Yeah, that's what I figured, is in that 1,000. Because still, I'm trying not to follow that too much, but it seems like once you reach that level, then it's kind of a point where it's just like, yeah, they kind of made it, and kind of like things open up that way. So really just trying to get that, because I try not to push for no subscribers, but it's really nice to get them on as well. So I do appreciate all the people that watch and everything too. Because I mean, yeah, we're at an hour and 27 minutes, and I think some of you guys were still on from the get go. I feel bad for GearBest. Yeah, I mean that's one thing about the contracts. I mean they want to try and sell the knives, so do you get like a report, like it's like you did really good, or like why aren't you selling our knives for us? Your pug's probably sleeping, so it's probably keeping you awake, all the snoring. Yeah, it kind of proves as far as the channel, I think, as far as the regular content. Because I think I'm gonna try and do 2 a week. I think it's kind of where I'm gonna stick for that. I'm gonna try and get some scheduled, because right now I'm kind of one for one. Like I don't have any backlog, which is something that I just need to work on to kind of alleviate some of the pressure for that. Because I got a lot to review now. It's like feast or famine type of thing. So that's where I have some new ones that came in. I have all of Mr. Blower One's knives to go through. I have the new one that EDC Arizona sent in that he wants to sell. So I need to get on it. I'm on vacation right now, so I got to get some of those things done. I've been doing like housework and like other random tasks, so it kind of takes some time. Yeah, pug snore. You can't monetize until you get to 1,000, so that's kind of that is that threshold for that. So there's no monetization until you get to 1,000 subscribers. I would and I wouldn't. Like it depends on what they're really wanting. Because I want to be giving honest reviews for things, and I think you did that as well. But but I don't know. I'm concerned with like some of those as far as like if they send you so much and you have to review all those, and then then if I get like this random knife in, then I don't have time to review that, or I could add it to it, I guess. But that's where I don't know. I mean, I don't. I guess if it got posed to me, I'm not opposed to getting free knives. And that's a horrible response. I should be like, yes, GearBest is the best company, and I want to get all their knives for free so I could review them, and it's going to be amazing. I got to work on my responses. Yeah, the Jackson signal didn't come in yet. No, it's still on order. So Patty, if you get a knife in that they send you, you just say that like this knife is horrible, or probably not in those words, but you're just like, no, no, this knife I'm not going to review for you. Um, Send it back to them, or like I'm going to put it in the trash can, give it to my cousin. I did notice that. I have to go and look at that a little bit better. It's hard to read in the format though. Like like in this little chat format, like it's really small, so I can't actually read your name on it. So that'll be a good deal. I mean, because some of the knives, I don't know if you were on earlier. I think it was because I got that knife in. I don't think it was GearBest, but it was one of the direct from China ones. And like if they send me this knife, like I'll be like, don't buy this knife. Here's a link. Nice. There's a lot of. Has anybody used what's it called now? Fiverr. There's a company, a website that you can actually go and ask for logos, ask for intros, and then they'll do it all up for you and email it back to you. It's actually really quite interesting. So like the intro that I used for the video, granted I could probably get a program for that, but I don't have a program for it. So I mean they do like $10 or something like that, and then they'll take your logo and make an intro out of it or an outro. It's a pretty interesting way to do it. I even did a Mother's Day thing where I actually put my wife's face on like a dancing person. It didn't go over very well. I thought it was more funny than she thought it was. Fiverr, is that what you're asking about, Jack? I'll pull it up here. You could waste all your money, but then you gotta like, so FIV